Hey guys, this is George, and making this video because I want to talk about people who are misunderstood. And the main reason that I want to talk about this is because I've been one of those people who have been wrongly judged for some of the things I've said and some of the things I've done. But I don't have any kind of personal animosity towards anybody, even if they have any kind of personal animosity towards me. Because what I've come to realize over the last few years is that most people are like that. Most people judge others on the things that they say and the things that they do. But the thing is that people are very complex. Even if they say certain things that I might not necessarily agree with, or they do things that I might not necessarily agree with, that doesn't necessarily mean that that's a bad person. I think when I was younger, I used to be very judgmental. I used to think that if somebody was saying something that I thought was bad, that I would assume that that person had no redeeming qualities, that was just like a bad person, or they did something that I disagreed with. I would assume that too. But I don't really feel that way no more. I think as I've gotten older, I realized that that necessarily isn't true. But I think a good example of that would be a musician who's on a major label. I think to most people, when musicians sign to major labels, they're considered sellouts. But I think to the musician, it's not necessarily the same thing, because what they might be trying to do is they might be trying to change the mainstream, and they might be trying to make the music better. They might be trying to expose people to things they might not necessarily be aware of. I think signing to a major label isn't necessarily a good idea, but I don't necessarily think that the people who sign to major labels have bad intentions. I think that some of them just want to make things better. They don't necessarily just want to make money all the time. I mean, there are people that they just care about making money and being rich, but that doesn't really apply to everybody, though. But I think you do essentially ruin what you represent when you sign to a major label, because you are essentially, somewhere down the line, you're going to compromise yourself. You're not really going to have any creative freedom. I mean, that's what happens with a lot of artists that I've respected over the years. They started off doing things on their own terms, and then when they signed to major labels, they would have to essentially compromise themselves, and they wouldn't really do what they wanted after a while. They would just mostly focus on making hit records and trying to get played on the radio. But like I said, though, these aren't necessarily bad people. They're just people who are trying to make things better. But I think eventually they kind of fail. I think another good example of that would be when I was younger, I used to get bullied, like all these different kids, and I would assume that these kids that were bullying me were just bad people. What I didn't understand, though, is that a lot of these kids were getting bullied and harassed by other people, and the main reason that they took it out on me and other kids is because they had the same thing happen to them. And I didn't really see that when I was younger, though. I just naturally assumed that they were just bad kids and there was no good qualities about them. I think most people, though, when they have bad things happen to them, they feel like they have to take it on others. They don't really want to take the time to understand why people hurt each other and why people have all this personal animosity towards other people. I don't necessarily think I mean, for some people, I think there are people that are evil, that are crazy, but I think for most people, when they do bad things to other people, I think it's because they have it happen to them, and then they take it out on others. I think that's one of the first steps in trying to change the way people are, is trying to understand where they're coming from, and then I think that way it becomes easier to change how we are as human beings. Because I think now it's just people, they just judge each other. They don't really want to take the time to understand each other. It's just really messed up nowadays. I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to say in this video. Thanks to whoever decided to watch this, and take care of yourselves. Bye.